And yeah, I've got two tickers. One of them is snow. So you guys knew I was coming back to this one at some point, right? Like it's my pick of the year, and it's got above the key level 205, which has made my day and is breaking out nicely. But that being said, we're struggling here at 235, and so I'm curious to see if we're going to get a break above and a retest and a nice move higher, or if we're going to first kind of retest the 205 area. We did pull back a little bit, and sometimes you'll see that, right? Like not a full retest, and it caught the 20-day moving average and then just kind of moved up higher again to get back up and push towards that 235 area. So given that, like we might not get a retest of prior resistance, but I'm kind of hoping for it because then I'll get in with a more of the long trade, more upside here. So it's tough to say. You got the 50-day moving up there as well, which provides a bit of support. I don't want to see it drop back below, though. I mean, that would be something that I would want to see a quick recovery if we got back below 200, for example. And I think that would be kind of a negative stance overall. So that level, I just really want to see it hold. I would not mind a pullback, but it just has to hold above. What do you think, Kay? Like, any news or any thoughts your way on snow? Like this one's,
So
I've got all my hopes up this year on snow.
no, so interestingly, Snow has a 10% plus minus implied move. So you're looking at what about $22, $23 move. On the option side, the put to call is 1.13. So there's a lot more put options with an implied volatility of 102.53%. So that's pretty
Okay.
interesting. We have really not seen a lot of buy ratings. It's mostly older buy ratings on Snow. And just looking at from an earning standpoint, this company is has done pretty good from an earning standpoint as well. They haven't missed anything in the last like 6 7 quarters. So I think it will depend really on the guidance, because most SaaS companies, what the key criterias are: their gross margin, the net retention value, NRR, right? Net retention rate,
Yeah.
and how many customers they have. Then a lot of companies, they break down depending on whether the customers are 100,000, how many customers are in 100,000, how many are in a million. So those are the different metrics for SaaS companies. They look at it. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I mean, this is your pick of the year, so we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, definitely the guidance. I think you're right. It's going to be a big deal when we get to earnings. What do you think, Sean? You liking this chart?
Yes, I'm kind of agreeing with you actually. The two arrows are kind of the two arrows I'm actually looking at. So potential breakout trade, of course. Um, Although I do think it might be a bit extended going into that. Perhaps it might be the dramatization of the candles that you've spread out a little bit. But that 205 level, we pointed that out in the yearly predictions video that we did. So that
Mhm.
205 level creeping up again. So that would be where I would look to kind of add or even start a position. I'm not in the stock at all. But yeah, those are the two levels I'd be looking at for sure.
Nice.
And the
Yep.
stock is recently up, right, Nate? When we did that video, it was like on the
Oh
17th
yeah,
of December.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
I
doing
think you're
really
winning.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're winning.
Thanks.
I'm
Well,
not
here's
winning.
here's the thing. We still have a long ways to go, right? We're
Yeah,
barely 2 months in. And what I would say about snow, and the reason I think it's very appealing is the length of this base here, the long time it took to consolidate and all of that volume underneath, right? That is bought in. Now we're finally breaking out. I don't think you're going to, even if you see some profit taking, I mean, I think it has the potential to go on a bit of a steep run. So that being said, once it does, it'll pause and consolidate and do all the things we would expect. But we'll see. 205 is definitely, if it retests that, I'll be buying.